G'day guys, here we are. How you going? Hope you got a good weekend coming up for anyone who's going to be maybe heading away. But look, we're going to have a chat tonight. This is a topic that I've had quite a few people sort of ask me about, and that's where you can go camping in that Dargo area and base camp up there for a few days and take a caravan, off-road caravan, or your camper trailer into these places. Now, look, lots more people now getting away these days and taking these kind of camping options away with them now, and that's their caravans and camper trailers and that sort of thing. And they want to base camp up and and still be able to go and check out the sites and that sort of stuff from these base camps once they're fully set up. So we're going to get in tonight, and it's going to be base camping areas, spots where so you can go around Dargo. I've got a bit of a list going on here, and all of these spots that I'm going to go through here tonight, they've all pretty much all of them on high country river system. So, especially coming into summertime where you can kick back and relax in the rivers there. They're going to be all on river systems as well. So let's get into it. Now, the first one we're going to go into tonight. Now, if you want to roll in, and that's just in Dargo itself. So you've got both the pubs there, all come through loud and clear. Greatly appreciate that. Thanks very much for that feedback there. You got both the pubs there in Dargo. So you got the main pub there, the Dargo pub, and plus you got the River Inn, which is just before the sort of the township of Dargo as you come in sort of from that Bairnsdale side. That's sort of set up a bit like a sort of a caravan park sort of a setup in there. So you got that option there, or they got that main Dargo pub, which is right in town with the general store and everything else. You can camp out the back of the Dargo pub. So look, these are good options if you're not wanting to take a great deal of sort of food with you and sort of live out of the pubs and have your meal in the pubs and breakfast in the general store across the road. Really good options there. You can pay a few bucks at the Dargo pub, the main one there. If you want to have showers and that sort of thing too, if you want to have a shower there, you can pay a few bucks. But just go inside, see them about all that, and you'll get a key to the gate there. You got to pay a few bucks for the key, and then when you drop the key back, you get your money back as well. So there's two options there for good base camping. Now, with these base camping options, they're really centralised to want to do the popular attraction, your blue rag, billy goat. You can even do shoot into Wannangatta too from Dargo itself. But that's just a great option there if you're after a few facilities, is either of those two pubs that are right in Dargo Township. Now, if you want to get a little bit further out and go camping, again on a river with some drop loos, another great spot is a nice spot called Italian Flat. Just before we get into that, this is the map you want to get hold of, which covers all of what we're talking about tonight. Now, we've had a few chats about this, and that's the Dargo Wannangatta rooftop map. That will cover everything that we're going to chat about tonight. So get hold of one of those, and you can be able to follow everywhere where we're going on this particular map. So check out that one out there, and then mark out where you're going to go. So yeah, that Italian Flat, it's only about 15 minutes out of the Dargo Township itself. And this is another great option. It's bitumen all the way up to the start of the Upper Dargo Road, and then turns dirt once you hit the Upper Dargo Road. Wind your way down through there, and it's not a bad road. You'll get down there, no worries, with caravans and camper trailers. So wind yourself down through there, and I'll stop in at Italian Flat, which is down the bottom there. That's sort of the main first camp area that you'll sort of come to. Or you can just keep going along that dirt road. There's so many options along there. Another great spot a bit further on is a spot called Jimmy's. That's a really nice camp spot there with drop toilets and that sort of thing as well going on there. But the further on, I think Jimmy's might be the last one that might have drop toilets. As you go further along, there's still plenty of place where you can camp, but you won't have those drop toilet options if you're looking for that. So you might have to be maybe a little bit better set up with your caravan and your camper trailer for toilets and that sort of stuff if you want to go just that little bit further on. And if you do go that little bit further on, as soon as you get away from sort of the drop toilet setups, it generally gets a little bit quieter too, because people want to be closer to the toilet facilities for those people that really, really want to get them. So there's a couple of options there. That Italian Flat is a really nice spot, and and your base camp up there. And then that also gives you the option, if you want to shoot back into town for dinner one night, well, it's only 15 minutes down the road, have a meal and, come back, or even the next morning, if you don't want to cook your breakfast, well, shoot back into town, go to the general store across the road, get your teas and coffees and really good bacon, egg rolls and that sort of stuff going on in the general store. So there's some really good options there for those people that, sort of don't want to take a great deal, but have some great facilities. Now, the next one we're going to get on to, this one's Talbotville, and this is a little bit further out of town. It's about probably going to take you, if you're towing, best part of probably 3/4 an hour to get there. So that's heading back out the north end of Dargo, up the Dargo High Plain Road for probably about 20, 30 Ks. until you get to the start of McMillan's track, McMillan Road on the left-hand side there. And this is where the dirt starts. Now, this is not a bad road, but if it's wet, this top section all the way down to sort of the helipad, you'll see the helipad when you get there, but it's fairly hard packed clay base sort of a road, this one. If it's wet, you'd want to be probably pretty careful if you're going to tow along it. She'd be pretty damn slippery, I reckon. But other than that, if it's dry, it's no worries probably getting through there. Good road. Once you get to the helipad, once you go past that helipad, big open clearing, magnificent views there, well worth even stopping and maybe have a bit of look at those views before you continue on. But once you drop past that helipad, well, then it drops sort of quite steadily all the way down to the Talbotville camp area. Now, this would be a great option there to certainly select low range gearing. Low range four-wheel drive, that allows you, you're going to stay off your brakes because it's just constant or downhill all the way. You'll be on your brakes all the way if you're going to stay in that high range. So, yeah, I'd be definitely slotting into low range four-wheel drive once you go past that helipad. Wind your way down through there and you're going to be off those brakes a little bit more than what you normally would be. Then when you get to the bottom down there, Talbotville's old gold mining town from way back in those days when they were busily trying to find their riches with gold, and that's a really nice spot down in there, right on the Crooked River. Drop toilets down in there. And this is where it's a really good centralised location, this one. If you want to do, your blue rags and your billy goats, you're pretty much smack right in the middle of them. So it's a really good option, this one, where you go and do blue rag one day, come back and then do billy goats another day. And you can even go into Wanangata Valley and go and check out the station from here. It's a great drive in there. It's going to take you probably about 3.5 hours each way. Really nice drive though, and well worth going there. You can go in there for lunch. I've done that many times from Talbotville, base camped at Talbotville, gone into Wanangata Station for lunch, and then come back out. So that's a really good spot there. Good thing that everyone's getting on here tonight. A couple of big things going on there with what's going on in Talbotville. What are the river levels like at Crooked River? They are absolutely cranking at the moment. I've just come back from Dargo only actually today. The river levels at the moment are right up there. They're flowing pretty hard. So depending on when you're looking to go, Jason, but see whether they drop or not. But there's a fair bit of rain apparently coming later again towards the end of next week. So going to be really careful. But river systems at the moment are fairly flowing pretty hard. So that's that one there. That's Talbotville, really good spot. The next one we're going to talk about here, this is coming from Dargo. So if you go out sort of the southern end, back out the southern end of Dargo, back towards sort of that Bairnsdale direction. And we're going to go to a spot called Black Snake Creek. Now, Black Snake is a really nice spot on the Wanangata River. Now, to get there, it's only about sort of 5 to 10 k's. You head back out of Dargo till you get on a shortcut road, which juts off to the right there. Dirt road starts there. Take shortcut road right to the very end. It's on a few k's to the very end of it, and then you'll get on the Wanangata Road, and then you're going to turn right from here and wind your way through to Black Snake Creek sort of camping area. Now, both of these roads, they're good wide roads. Going to be a bit careful with any oncoming traffic and that sort of thing. So plenty of options there, plenty of room on both of these roads for any overtaking. If you've got vehicles coming the other way, not too many tight sections. So no worries getting through there if you've got a caravan or somewhere like that. So get in there, and again, got drop toilets in there. Really nice spot there on the Wanangata River. It's not a massive area, big long area along the Wanangata River. It does fill up fairly quickly. Particularly if you want to get a spot right there on the river. But again, great option there for doing your billy goats and blue rags. You can base camp up there, swim in the river. Really, really nice spot. The next one we're going to talk about here is at Kingswell Bridge itself. So this is just a bit further on from Black Snake, again along Wanangata Road. Kingswell Bridge is the big river crossing that pretty much everyone likes to drive as they head across the Wanangata River. You're going to billy goats and those sort of things. You can camp on the other side of the bridge there. So drive across the bridge and set yourself up there. But there's no toilet facilities here, so you're going to have to be really well set up for that sort of option with your own toilet facilities, with your caravan and camp trailer and that sort of thing, because there's absolutely no toilet facilities out there. But just a really nice spot. And then you can watch all the people driving across the river, and hopefully nothing goes wrong while you're sitting there watching them all get across the river. So, and that's a really nice spot, not far from Billy Goats to go and do that from there. Really easy, accessible drive to Billy Goat if you're camping at either of those at Black Snake or Kingswell Bridge. Really, really good spots. And then the last one I'm going to sort of go on here, this is a bit further on from Kingswell Bridge again, just continue on over the bridge, and that's a spot called Eagleville Campground. And this is a beautiful spot on the Wanangata River. But this spot, I probably wouldn't recommend taking a big caravan. And this spot, even with towing a camper trailer, you might have to be pretty savvy on reversing that trailer if you're going to go out there, because there's a couple of tight sections on that. It's a twisty road, particularly once you get past the start of Billygoat Bluff Track. So you'll see the start of Billygoat and just keep on going. Once we get from past there, it does get pretty tight and narrow in some sections. So there may be a chance if a vehicle comes the other way, one is going to have to work out who's going to back up. And if you're going to do it with a trailer on, because whoever's coming the other way might have a trailer as well. So you're going to have to work that one out at the time. But I probably wouldn't be taking any big caravans along this section of road. Probably not advisable at all. But once you get into Eagleville, it is a beautiful spot there, right on the Wanangata River, and you can cross the river there, and you can get up on Cynthia Range into Wanangata, do a drive into Wanangata, really good, accessible, pretty easy going into Wanangata from there. And a few hours in and a few hours back out, you can certainly do. It's a big trip if you want to do your Blue Rags and Billygoat from there. But really beautiful spot to go and kick back at Eagleville. Really nice spot. I've been there a number of times, and really like it down in there. It's probably one of my favourite camp areas, a bit further out of town. It's probably about an hour and a half from Dargo to get out there. Even probably more so especially if you're towing as well. So Talbotville, top spot there. It is a great spot, mate. I do like it down there. I haven't been down there for a little while, but it is a really, really nice spot. No worries, Doug. Thanks very much there, dropping in there tonight. Gary, it's been a while. How you doing, mate, from Dubbo? Yeah, look, I'm going all right, mate. Just doing what we do and ticking along and have a chat to you guys. But hope everything's going up for you in Dubbo there in New South, mate. Hopefully you haven't been too muchly affected with all the rain and everything going on in New South Wales of late. Pretty full on going up in there, New South Wales and Queensland. James, do you need diff lockers on these tracks? Absolutely not. No, you don't. They're I'd highly recommend it, especially if you're towing. I'd be engaging four-wheel drive, at least high-range four-wheel drive on any of these dirt roads. So you've got maximum traction, maximum control. But diff locks are certainly not required at all on any of these sort of dirt roads. But well worth getting in there and check them out and find one of those great spots. But look, they're all really good, easy, accessible. And the other thing too is, especially with if you're going to stay in either that Dargo area or Italian Flat or something like that, or even any of those, if you're going to go back into Dargo again, try and get to the historical museum. Now it's a little bit out the back of town. It's sort of just out the back of the pub. It's not far out. It's only probably a bit under a K out, but you got to just go into the pub maybe or the general store and ask about it and see if it's open, or they'll get someone there to come and open it up for you. But the historical museum in Dargo is well worth going and have a look at. The history that they've got in there from the gold days and everything else, and the bits and pieces they got from there that they've dug up from people who've donated all sorts of historical pieces over the years from that Dargo area is well worth checking out. It's feeling really, really good. So just drop into or ask at the pub there or the general store and find out about getting a look through the historical museum. It's well worth having a look at. Highly rated. Stop breathing through your mouth. It's really annoying during the long wing. I'm not sure what's going on there, Sean, but anyway. G'day, Nick. Hope you're going well. Yeah, mate, going pretty good, mate. G'day, mate. Everything's going pretty all right here. Many trees down on the tracks lately? No, I haven't seen any down of late. Haven't been sort of out in those last big storms that have been going on up in this area last few days. We didn't get any of the wind and the rain because I was in Dargo last night. Didn't get any of that wind and rain that came through sort of Melbourne, and everything was sort of heading that way. It sort of didn't really arrive, but yeah, there's bound to be a few around. I reckon, that's for sure. So that sort of covers those spots. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half a dozen really, really good camp spots there where you can very easily get into with your off-road caravan or your camp trailers, other than that one that I mentioned at Eagleville. Wouldn't highly rate taking a big caravan down that road with the tight, narrow sections on it. And just have to make sure you are, if you're going to go down there, even with a camp trailer, make sure you're okay at reversing up. All the other roads, getting Kingswell Bridge, Black Snake, Talbotville, might be a couple of sections on Talbotville, especially if you're going to head down Macmillan Road. There could be a couple of tight sections there. if you've got a vehicle coming the other way, especially once you get past that helipad, there are a few sort of tightish sections on that might have a few issues getting another vehicle past side by side. So again, you'd have to work that one out at the time. But look, anywhere where you're going to go sort of off-road with a caravan or camper trailer, you must know how to reverse it. That's an absolute necessity to know how to reverse a trailer before you think about going off-road anywhere. Really want to be really confident on doing that sort of skill if it's going to be needed, because you just never know when you might have to back it up and turn around and go back, or back it up, just let another vehicle pass. So make sure you can get all that sort of stuff done. G'day, Darren. How you going there, mate? Going right there from Mittagong up here, having a bit of R&R. That sounds pretty good, mate. Hopefully it's nice and relaxing for you up there at Mittagong, mate, in New South Wales, and everything's going all right for you. So there we go. So there was, I say, at the end of it, we'll just get a hold of that map, the one that I mentioned there, that Dargo Wanangata map. Get hold of that one, that rooftop map. All the sites and everything you want to go and see, all the tracks are all listed on there. That you can go and have a look at. And that's probably the other good thing there with Talbotville. There's a stack of tracks you can do around that area there, from the 24 river crossings and Bulltown and Collingwood and Randalls and Conway. They're all right there, smack around that area. So really well worth getting down in Talbotville too, if you want to go that little bit further and get down in there, set yourself up there for a few days and go and check out all those sites and drive all those amazing tracks, because it's beautiful country down in there. Now, look, guys, if you've got any other areas that maybe you might want this sort of discussion to be had on, our place you can get into around the high country with your caravans or camp trailers, and we want to base camp them up for a few days and still go and check out the sites, just drop them in the comments down below after this video is finished, and we'll see what other areas people might want some information on. I do have a couple of live videos I have talked about with this kind of topic, but this one's really specific to that Dargo area because of so many people have asked about it, where they can go with caravans and camper trailers and set them up and get in there without any problem about getting them into these places. So that list I've given you tonight is certainly well worth checking those ones out. So there we go, guys. We'll wrap this one up, but thanks very much for tuning in tonight. And hopefully if you're going to get into some of these spots, get in there, check them out, have a great spot, and get them all set up and base camp up there for a few days and go and check out the amazing sites, or just go and base camp up and do nothing, kick back in the river, and that sounds damn good too, I reckon. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Very rude. Catch you later on.